Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope everyone is doing great. Let's solve Leetcode problem 1758. Minimum changes to make alternating binary string. Problem statement states you are given a string S consisting only of characters 0 and 1. In one operation, you can change any 0 to 1 or vice versa. Okay. The string is called alternating if no two adjacent characters are equal. For example, the string 010 is alternating while 0100 is not, because if you see, if I pick these two adjacent characters, both are equal, so it is not an alternating. Okay, return the minimum number of operations needed to make S as alternating. Okay, so let's take an example. Let's say I have 010101, so this is alternating, right? So how can I know whether a particular string is alternating? Given, if you take any particular position, the character at this position should not be equal to its previous character, right? If you can take any such position, okay, if you take this position, 0 is not equal to 1, so this, and 1 is not equal to 0, and so on and so forth. So this, if all the positions satisfy this particular criteria, then that means it's an alternating. If it is, if at a given position, if the character at its previous position, if it is equal, that means it is not an alternating. Then I have to make some action over there. Okay, so that is one observation. Okay, now whenever we have alternating string, either it can start with 0 or it can start with 1. Okay, if you see, this is also alternating and this is also alternating of same length, right? So given a string, I have to check possibilities for both. Okay, now if I assume that I will start this alternating, I will try to make the string as alternating with starting as 0. That means if I am at this particular position, okay, if I am at this position, the character at this is equal to this, right? So that means I have to perform an action. That means I will flip it. Okay, so whenever the current character, if it is equal to the previous character, that means I will do one modification, and also I will flip it. Okay, so the flipped character will be opposite to the previous character. Okay, if the previous character is 0, that means the flip will become 1. If previous character is 1, then the flipped character will be 0. Okay, so that is a key idea. Okay, so I will try to get the minimum operations required by starting with 0 or by starting with 1. Okay, and whenever I encounter the same characters, then based on the previous character, okay, so based on the previous character, I will flip the current character to 1 or 0. Okay, so if you look at the function, okay, so the answer, by default, I define a function called minimum, which will get me the minimum operations required to convert S, given that I will start with a particular character. Okay, if I pass previous as 0, that means I'm starting my character, starting my string with 1. Okay, if I pass previous as 0, that means I am starting my character string with 1. If I pass it as 1, that means I will start my string with 0. Okay, so initially answer is 0 and n is basically the length, and I will just iterate from 0 to all the way till the end, and current will contain the current character at ith position. If both the characters are not equal, then that means those two are in valid positions, and then my current character will become previous to the next character, and I will simply continue without doing any operations at all. If this is not the situation, that means both the characters are same. Okay, if the previous character is 0, then the next previous character will become 1, because I will be flipping it, right? And or else it will become 0 and my answer will increase by 1. By the end, we will contain the minimum operations required. Okay, so my overall answer will be the minimum of S0 and S1. Okay, if you submit this, all the test cases will be passed and it will be pretty efficient solution as well. Okay, so before jumping dive into time complexity analysis, I highly recommend you to subscribe to my coding channel so that you won't be missing the content I will be posting on daily basis. And I am also actively participating in the Leetcode challenges as well, Leetcode contest as well. So I will be posting solutions, my thought process for those problems contest as well, right? So the time complexity of this particular function is basically the time taken for to execute this for loop. So this for loop will execute for big O of n, where n is the length of the s, and we are just manipulating, we're just using few variables and we are just updating those variables, right? So the space complexity is big O of 1 and time complexity is big O of n. Okay, I will be posting solution in multiple languages such as Java, JavaScript, Python. Feel free to check it out. Thank you.